Good evening, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Peace and wisdom. Today I want to do this very deep video. Well, it's not a deep video. I want to call somebody for a one-on-one, and I'm going to record it. So, that's pretty much what we doing today in this video. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call. Good evening, Mr. Solace.
Hi, Solace, how are you?
I'm alright. How about yourself?
Very good. Thank you for taking the time out to call me.
That's no problem. So you wanna get into some deep learning, huh?
I do. I've been looking at your videos. I haven't gotten through all of them. Nevertheless, it's been helping a lot of stuff that I've learned over my life make a lot of sense as far as pointing out bullshit. You know, I've been able to do that quite well. And, you know, things just make a lot more sense now. And I want to make sure I get deeper into it. Can you fill me in with the voice real quick while I talk on the phone? Thank you.
What you was talking to me?
Oh, no, I was talking to my brother.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, your videos are great, and all this time I've been watching you and listening to you, I feel myself resonating with it. And so I thought, you know, it'd be a nice little relationship to start. Because this is information I have not heard before, and I'm almost 30.
Right. Well, the main thing is this. If you have me as your goal, as far as acquiring a deeper level of thought, I just want you to remember that the life is what I learned from. So even if you don't understand what the life is, just know it's a higher above me in everything. And you know, one thing is just for the purposes of pulling yourself up. So the lower stairs, they serve their purpose, because the stairs at the bottom of the steps, they help you get to the ones at the top. And you can stop at that level, or you can go to the next floor. So knowledge is the same way. We pull from different things to get knowledge, and then sometimes people get lost, and then they raise these things up high. And they raise them up above themselves, and it kind of stops them from learning. So I just say that because I don't want you to ever look at me like I'm above you or anything like that. I'm just a regular person, no different than nobody else. It's just a matter of thought. I just understand.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I just understand.
Most definitely, and I definitely, you know, consider you as a person just like me. Nevertheless, your mentorship is great, you know, and you're just a person that a person like me just wants to have around, you know, because though it's not all you, you facilitate the knowledge, and you know it's quite nice. Because like I said, I don't really know anyone else that's doing this, and I seek out a lot of people for different reasons.
Right. What exactly do you want to know?
Well, I always wanted to know who I was and my purpose in life. And what is this? What am I? You know what I'm saying? What do I live on? Is the earth flat or round? Like, your videos have been helping me answer a lot of these questions, but you know, my main thing is to find and fulfill my purpose happily, because I know happiness is a journey and not a destination. And learned this so I can pass this information on to other people. You know, I've already mentioned it, summarizing it briefly to a few people, and it definitely made them think just a little bit more. And a couple people, you know, they don't understand it as well, but nevertheless, it causes them to ask questions too. And I like to relay this information to others who are unaware of this, because the storm of the spirit, see, people never look at it that way. And, you know, I've watched even the videos of the ones, the men and the women who were trying to say otherwise when they just proved the point that you made.
Yeah, I see that happen a lot.
You know, it's funny, and I enjoy it. I enjoy learning.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
It's definitely my thing, and, you know, you're definitely an interesting, humorous person.
All right,
to go along this journey with.
Let's deal with your purpose first. So you said you want to know your purpose in life. All right, the first thing you got to understand is this. Everything in life has its purpose to be its piece in the life. So a lot of times we think our purpose is something that's our control, and it's not. It's like a chicken. Chickens running around in the forest, that tills the soil. Just them being in existence, the way they walk, the way their feet are made, it serves them as that's their purpose. You get my point? Pigs are scavengers. They pretty much clean up the earth. Now these things are probably not aware that that's their purpose, but just in them being made, their purpose is fulfilled. All they have to do is live in the flow of life. And the purpose is fulfilled. And us wanting stuff, this is what leads to a lot of, and a person wanting to have a purpose is what leads to stress and strain. Because now you feel like you have to fulfill a purpose. And your purpose is already fulfilled. You just have to know self, as you would say. You have to just know. If you were the chicken, you would just have to know eventually, okay, my feet in itself serves a purpose. My beak in itself serves its purpose. For whatever, you get me? For whatever it may be. So like your time, you're so much more than what you know, that you look for a purpose, not realizing that you fulfill purposes bigger than that. So like your time, I know you view yourself as you live in time, but your time, every living being, every living thing you see, that is the time. So if you remove all the living, then you have no time. So the living is the time, the living is the existence. So the life is within the life. So you're the time, you're the existence. You serve all those purposes. You like a universe. There's many universes. There's many universes, and it's not a matter of them all being in the sky. We're all universes ourselves. And we have planets and galaxies and micro life within us. Cells. We call them different things. We call our planets or our solar system an immune system. But in any event, it's the same thing. So your purpose, I don't know. If you could grasp that, then you probably would say, okay, well, whatever purpose I was going to fulfill in this physical really ain't that big of a deal. Being as though I'm a universe.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a deep thing. It's just a matter of knowing, being balanced out, move with the life, because the life is all one, so it all got to move in a certain order.
Yes, it does. And I have another question. Now, me using everything as a stepping stone, I was raised Christian. about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to the Hebrew Israelite religion, and so that was my belief system for a very long time. Now, it wasn't up until, well, this year pretty much, my perception just started changing, and I started questioning every little thing about everything, because things just don't seem right year after year, and with the biblical text that I have always been given to study as a guideline, to me and to other females, it just seems more of an oppressing, submissive type of thing than it does a way of life, and it's not to disregard the stuff that happened in there, but it's to say that maybe everything wasn't put in there, and a lot of us don't know that. I know I don't know that. I'm still looking myself. But as far as polygyny and polygamy is concerned, from my research says it's just a strict belief system based off of a man-made religion. Something doesn't really sit right with a man having wives and a woman not being able to have husbands, because if it was a dualism type of thing, it would seem like if something is good for one, something would be good for the other.
Exactly. Perfectly put. Whatever's good for one, it has to be good for the other. So it's a matter of give and receive. Everything boils down to that. If a man can give out that energy and say, "Oh, I should have 4 wives," then the wives should be able to have 4 husbands each, and that'll be too confusing. So this is why that don't happen, because it's confusing in itself. A man having 4 wives, that's confusing enough, but we pretend like this makes sense. But the more you go along with it, then you see it don't. Because then if you say, okay, let all the wives have 4 husbands, then you have like a big party, and it kind of takes away from the union of man and wife. So it's just a man being greedy. He says, I got 1 wife, I want more. And it's just weird. But people go with this kind of stuff, and it's a weird thing. I don't really understand why people don't see, like, fairness. If you're in a situation and it ain't fair, then it ain't good.
Yeah, because with that type of situation, I talk to so many different people that don't understand, and it just doesn't make sense to them. Like there's even women who just resorted down to advertising their husbands online just for the sake of adding like 5 to 7 more, and I just never really got it, and so I summed it up partially in my head to how the masculine power wanted to dominate things. I guess around Constantine's time, my research is leading me to Constantine being the one that edited these scriptures and made them quote unquote the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Enforcing these type of things, because I have not, read the entire scriptures in the perception that I have now, but there are books that stand out to me, and it just seems like it's more for that masculine benefit than it is for the woman who is regarded as sexual property, so on and so forth, and then the woman is demonized all throughout the entire scripture for it. So therefore.
But hold on. I don't want to cut you off, but I want you to think. I want you to think about this right quick. At one point in time, women had rulership in a sense. You know that, right?
Yes.
All right. So then you have to ask yourself, what did women do to fall? Because the only way you can fall from rulership is if you do something, because you're the ruler.
Yeah, because you must be acting up. So there has to have been a thing with the woman's morals, perhaps a control, lust, desire type of thing that maybe got maybe got a little bit too much for my understanding.
It's a simple thing. Women ruled.
Yes.
Women ruled through men. They taught men all the horrible things that they do, so that men can do those things for them. And when you do things like that, it turns on you. Because when you building men up so that they can protect you, you filling them up with power and knowledge. And then they use it against you. So one evil deed brings about more. See, if you go to the Bible tells you that the fallen, not the Bible, but if you go in depth in those scripts where they came from, it tells you that the fallen angels pretty much seduced women through their knowledge, and they bestowed knowledge on the women and had children with them. So you have to grasp, the women got the knowledge and passed it down to the men. Just like in life, women teach the babies, whether it's a man or a woman. A man, whether it's a boy or a girl, the woman is pretty much hands-on as far as knowledge go in the child learning. So it's a matter of that. When you get rulership, no matter who has it, it's going to flip-flop back and forth. So women will probably rule again, and the same things will keep happening. It's about everybody being equal. Everybody want power. And everybody want to be dominant over everyone. This is why everyone receives the Bible and all these religions so well, because it's a dominant thing. God is dominant, and He rules, and you're a sheep. You're basically cattle. And, you know, sheep ain't that smart. So it's like the Bible tells you. The Bible disrespects you, but the Bible's like, they're not wise, so it doesn't matter. They're just sheep. You call a grown man a sheep. He calls himself that. I'm one of God's sheep. He doesn't even realize how disrespectful that is.
Right.
Even if he was made in God's image, God is a God. So He has to respect you in that manner because you come from Him. But He don't give a fuck about you. He say, he's a sheep. And we go with that. We like, yeah, you're right. I'm a sheep. And then people stay in that train of thought. So they move as a sheep, never thinking for self. It's a deep thing. But the texts and the books that we have, they really not the source to knowledge. This is the stuff that's gonna interfere with you knowing self and reaching for that higher conscious. It's the books, the many different brothers that you may listen to. Like you said, you pull from different people for different things. All of this is just going to confuse you because there's only one source to learn from, and that's life. Now, if you don't have a connection with life, maybe you have to find something else to learn from. But when you begin to pull from too many things, this is going to lead to confusion.
Of course. It always does.
It takes you more and more away from the source. So, like, if you learn it from me, you know, well, Solace always speak about the life, so I got to reach for the life. So you kind of never lose train of thought of the source. But when you pick up another person to learn from, and then this book and that book, they're not talking about the source. They talking about the book is the source, or they're the source. And then it kind of just takes you more and more away from the source.
I'm telling you, and it's very annoying, because whenever I do listen to people, or, you know, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's in person, all I am directed towards is what the book says, or what does this book say, and what does the scripture say, and, you know, it's quite annoying because, you know, it lets me know that that person don't really know that much outside the book, and then on top of that, I think people ain't even read it, you know what I'm saying, in its entirety.
When you see a flower or a tree, what do you see?
Living beings.
Why?
Because it requires almost the same nutrients as me. and it gives life. Honestly, it gives life and it sustains.
Mhm.
That's what I see from one who gardens.
Now, in regards to understanding something, how could you use the flower or the tree to understand?
Say that one more time, you broke up?
Yeah, I was saying, by using the flower and the tree, how could you use that to answer a question you may have? Not a question you may have, but how can you use that to understand some? So, like how you say certain things I break down, it helps you understand things you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
How can you use the tree or the flower like that?
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, it would make a lot more sense if I
No.
look at things in the terms of the tree or the flower.
Huh?
The cycles are definitely similar.
Say that again?
The cycles of the tree and the flower remind me of the cycles of man, of people.
Mhm.
I've been trying to look at it from that perspective when I have, things are getting a lot easier for me to understand. For example, I planted different flowers in a flatbed because, see, when you did a video on macro and microcosmic, and you explained it, from the micro perspective, macro perspective, now that right there, and ever since I watched that video, that's how I've been approaching things, and it has helped me a lot, especially that one where the earth was described as the yolk, as an egg yolk, and I'm like,
Yeah,
because that's
the earth
how
is
my
a yolk.
womb is formulated as well. It looks like an egg yolk, a yolk sac. And
What shape is yolk? What shape is yolk? Because we speak of the shape of the shape of earth, whether it's flat or round. So I ask you, what shape is yolk?
Oh, yolk is round.
Yolk is not round.
Well, I mean, when it's in the egg, but it's kind of formless.
That's my point. What shape is yolk? Not an egg, but yolk.
Mm-hmm.
Yolk has nothing to do with an egg. Eggs have yolk, but yolk is not just an egg thing.
Right. The egg whites keep the yolk intact, but the yolk is essentially formless.
Say that again?
If I'm understanding right, what surrounds the yolk keeps it as it is. However, the yolk is essentially formless.
There you go. The yolk has no shape, but the yolk takes the shape of movement. So if the yolk is moving forward, then the yolk will look like a long cylinder. If the yolk is spinning, then it'll look like anything that's spinning, and it'll appear circular. So people just have to understand the earth is shapeless. It goes through shapes. It's like water. Like water in the sea.
This is why there's a continuing controversy on what shape the earth is. When they say sometimes it's pear, sometimes it's oval shaped and things like that.
But you got to remember, when they're saying the earth is oval shaped, they're including the movement. So they're not actually looking at the shape of earth, but they're looking at the movement. So if you're on what's those little spinning things that the kids get on? Back in our day.
The thing that spins you around real fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't call it.
Dang, I forgot the name. But those little spinning things we used to sit in, when you spin that, then everybody that's on it just looks like a big circle moving.
Yeah.
So this is my point. If something is moving, did you see that video where I used the
the little pixie spinner.
Oh, the fidget spinner, yes, I did. That was a good example.
The fidget spinner is not round, but when you spin it and you're looking at it from a distance, then you're like, oh yeah, it's a round object. So you're basing the shape according to the way it's moving. So they see Earth as whatever shape they see it according to the movement. People that see Earth as flat, they're not counting the atmosphere, which is a part of it. They're not counting beneath the core. I mean, they're not counting what's beneath the surface. All those different layers, they're not counting them as that. So when they say the Earth is flat, they basically saying the Earth is flat according to what they want to count. If you can dig 10 miles into Earth, well, we know that's not flat. A table is flat. A table has a flat surface, but it's not flat. A box does too, but a box isn't flat. Nothing's flat. Shapes have flat sides to them, but there is no shape that's flat. Meaning, you have circles, squares. There's no shape that's flat. Flat is not a shape. It's just it's something that shapes have. So when someone says that Earth is flat, that should clearly show you that they're talking about a shape, but they haven't grasped what the shape is. Because nothing is flat. All shapes have flat sides or something, so to say. So if we know all shapes have flat aspects to them, but there's no such thing as flatness as an individual, meaning if I said, show me something, show me flat. Well, there's nothing you really can show me that's flat. Paper's flat, but paper's a square.
That's true, yep.
That's my point. If somebody showed me a piece of paper, the paper is a flat square. Meaning, flat has to do with the shape. It's a part of a shape. It's nothing on its own. So if a man says the Earth is flat, the next thing I would ask him is, okay, flat what? A flat square? A flat disc? A flat what? Because nothing's just flat. And we have dimension, we have volume. These things have to do with...
The surface of the Earth isn't flat with all of the different volumes and dimensions in it.
You don't get that when you're dealing with flat. Volume and dimension, you just get flat.
Right.
So it's just a matter of not really thinking and fully understanding what they reach for. A lot of times they reach for these things because whatever they were taught prior, they found out it wasn't true, so then they just get angry. And it's a weird thing. Stop people from learning.
Anger and power is a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense, though.
You gotta respect the lie. The lie made you smarter. Had you not realized you got lied to, then you just be dumb as fuck. See how deep that is?
Right.
When you realize, oh, I've been being lied to, you just raised up in your conscience. You just need to honor that lie and say, man, I'm glad you've been lying to me all this time, because it helped me. It may not be a good thing that you lied to me, not to say that, but in your negativity, a positive side comes through it. So the good don't always find its way to blossom through. You can cover up the forest with concrete, but the weeds are still going to grow through. The goodness is going to always find its way. So men do whatever they want. They lie, and it just leads people to the truth, because then they realize you're a liar. So then they know there's truth out there. Had the liar said nothing, then nobody would know nothing.
Not that right.
It's a deep thing. But what you want to, you said you wanted to be a student, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, just let me know what I need. I can definitely donate to you on Friday. So just let me know my stuff, because I want to purchase your books so I can look at those as well. I'm interested. I'm a book fanatic.
Okay.
It works in my favor and it doesn't, but I try to pull bullshit where I can and take facts for facts.
Well, this is how it works with me if you a student. If you a student of mine, nothing costs. So if you a student, I'll just email you the PDF books, and that's that. And pretty much you just learn. There is no price. The give and receive is on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of that. And it's like Earth. You plant your seeds, Earth gives you a harvest. So I move in that same way. Give and receive.
Yeah,
But this is what I wanted to tell you.
Give a position to receive. So I'm definitely, like I said, I'm going to give because I've been receiving from you. You know what I'm saying, for a good while now. So, I'm happy I have the chance to talk to you because I do encounter a lot of fake people on the internet. I'm happy I have a chance to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? See how you interact and move on YouTube and everything. You're pretty cool.
Thank you. You think you can try this before you hang up? You think you can try to I'm trying to think how to word it. You think you could you think over the next few days you could keep track of the times that you're not fair?
Keep track of the times I'm not scared?
Yeah, over the next few days. Even if you could think of some old times and old situations where you weren't fair. Like where your morality wasn't where it should have been.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have to question my morality.
Yeah, I want you to do that for the next few days. And the next time we talk, I'm going to ask you those situations if you found any.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Sounds good. I will definitely do that. And I guess we'll talk online more to figure out when we're going to talk next time.
After three or 4 days or so, call me back and let me know.
Okay.
It's a matter of you.
Awesome. And this is your number I can store in my phone?
Yeah, store it in there and just hit me on this line. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Well, thank you. I appreciate the conversation.
All right, no problem. Peace and wisdom.
All right. Peace and wisdom, and you have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was a good one-on-one. Hopefully she got something out of it, the true message of everything I was saying, because a lot of times we hear things, not to say that she didn't grasp. She sounded like she grasped everything that I say. But some people may be watching the video and they may not grasp. And they may, sometimes we hear other things than what was meant. So hopefully everyone grasps the underlying message of the things that I say, because most of the things I say, they're from the spiritual aspect, but we view them from the physical, and this can confuse the person. So it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp, but that was a one-on-one session. And I guess I'll record a few more. I don't record them all, but every once in a blue I just pick them randomly. Next time I'll record a one-on-one with a male, because this one and the one prior to this one that I recorded, they were with females. So the next one I'll do with the male. Or maybe the next one I'll do with someone who likes to challenge my knowledge and I'll have a conversation with them, and y'all can hear how that goes. That's about it. I'm very tired, man. That's irrelevant, but I haven't slept, and I am tired. But me not sleeping was well worth it. Oh boy. Shemaine Man Solace, the wise servant. Peace and wisdom.